Good morning and thank God it's Friday. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa. My name is Elsie, Godwin, and I'm here with Omai.
Hi, Elsie.
How you doing?
Well, how are you?
I'm good. I'm all right.
Ready for the weekend?
I mean, I'm over ready for the weekend. Anyways, we are doing the ladies' affair this morning, and I think it's right to start with Rihanna's story. Rihanna's Fenty Beauty brand has been sued by a Los Angeles woman who is legally blind and visually impaired. She says Fenty's website has not been adapted to her needs. She's also requesting for $15,000 in damages from the Fenty brand. I don't think she's asking for too much, though. It's more like a reasonable... a reasonable fee.
I wish
I mean, they've made over $100 million from this particular website. And I'm surprised that Rihanna's team would make this kind of mistake, because I think, I don't know if you were on the show when we spoke about Beyonce being sued for the same thing.
Yeah.
Her website was not... they did not put thoughts into it when it comes to people that are visually impaired, you know, and then I don't know how that went, because no news about that. We don't know how the case went, if it was settled out of court.
Knowing Beyonce,
you know, but we expected that would be some form of warning to every other celebrity out there, or even if you're owning a website and your website is going to serve people in a particular region that has a law that is covering all that, you know. So I'm really surprised, but... I
mean, I have to say, like, they're putting the standard really high for these people. Like, it's my website. Like, I can cater to who I want to cater to. But I guess it's definitely showing us in this day and age, we need to start having a diversity and incorporation of every type of person, which is a little hard, but it's not undoable. You know, people have done it before. And I have to agree, like, if she knows that, like, this is not something new, it's like somebody coming to come and sue me now in Nigeria for a website that didn't cater to people, then I'll be like, where is this coming from? But you're already in the place where you know, so I don't know how it's going to work, except she stated somewhere, because although it's a law, I don't think it's mandatory that I cater for everyone. I can choose my target market if I want to. So I don't know if this is going to fly. Maybe she promised somewhere, maybe, I don't know. Maybe and she didn't.
I think that's where the whole being a lawyer and technicality will start coming into play, because if you're saying your website or your business is for some certain type of people, then it has to be explicitly written in your policy or something that would show that, okay, we were not planning to cater to blind people in the first place. But then these people wear makeup, they wear beautiful makeup as well, so you should know that they want to be able to purchase what would work for them, you know. So I don't know, I think this is going to be a serious one, but lawyers, trust them, they'll find the loopholes and see what to do. But knowing Rihanna for who she is, she might just decide to settle out of court,
and
pay
then
the $15,000 and then
also
get the website working well for them. All right, next story is on Tiwa Savage, and she says she's embarrassed to be a Nigerian. This is coming off the back of the rape Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo, the is it Elisha Abo, or how do they pronounce his name? And she's saying women are not being protected in this part of the world. They are abused, raped, underpaid. I mean, so many things are going on. And she's saying she's beginning to feel like she needs to do more than just to post, and that she's raising her son to be a man. And I think I like that statement. She didn't use better man, a good man, be a man, because I feel like being a man comes with so many responsibilities, and one of those responsibilities has to do with the way you treat people around you, not just women, everyone around you. You have to be a better human being and be a man. So I like her comments, and I don't think she's just responding to Elisha, because some people were saying, oh, she didn't say anything when it was just Busola Dakolo's time, but now she's coming out to speak. But she was talking about everything. She said with the news that has been going around for the past week, that she's sad and ashamed to be a Nigerian. I mean, I get you on that point.
I have to agree as well. I think the problems in this country can start to feel very draining. It's just left, right, and center, and nothing seems to work, and people are before you can even get through the Nigerian mentality and then like manage through that, the system itself is not defending or supporting or making a stance. Really, we have constitutions that were written 60,000 years ago and hasn't changed. It's such a joke. So I agree with her on that sense. I mean, I was come back with a lot of expectations, and all my expectations have been in fact crashed down. And I cannot be riding off of I miss Nigerian jollof rice. Like after a while, you eat it and you'll be fine. Like you know, you need more to hold on to about your homeland, and they're not giving us much. So I agree to that. in the sense of like that women are not being protected, 100%. 100%. And I know if Ife was here, you probably would have advocated for the men. And as I mentioned several times, feminists advocate for all genders to be equal. But when we talk about women, your job isn't to now distract the conversation and then talk about men. It's supposed to focus on one thing and then after the other. The sky has enough space for everybody to fly. And if Tiwa Savage wants to use this platform, it's really important that we listen and we understand that there is a problem.
There is a problem.
In fact, it's a pandemic. Like it's just the ones I get on Instagram. That we know on social media and everything. I mean, our real lives, we see it more and stuff. I don't know what needs to be done.
If this is happening in a place like Abuja and Lagos, imagine what happens in those rural areas that we don't even get to see on social media.
Yeah. So something needs to be done. Either we need to start putting policies, and we need to. And I think, like you said, when she talked about her son, I was really joyed because that is the best. In fact, that is the only time you can actually raise a man from when they're young. You can't tell a 20-year-old now to start on learning things. I mean, the chances of that is really, really slim. So her involving her son it speaks really well, because I think that we have really failed our boys, even by listening to them, helping them go through their pain, or not paying attention to them, or just expecting masculinity and no emotions whatsoever.
Masculinity.
So I think that her post is very valid.
All right, it's time for a quick break, but when we come back, we'll carry on our conversation and have something on Terry Crews. We'll be right back.
You're watching Plus TV Africa, and this is Tea Time.
I loved the energy when I came in here. It was so positive. I was like, I can live here.
My real names are Akbofiofobo, Akbolobomemere.
I think my father is a comedian, because most times when he calls me, he's like, yo, make sure you use condom, you know, them girls out there.
So are you telling me I should have shot my shots?
Ife, you have a younger brother.
Age is nothing but a number. What? I'm a vampire.
I believe in equal rights for women, and I also believe that a man is the head of the house, so we need to draw our limits somewhere. It feels so good. Now can I do my jam now?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you.
Welcome back. This is still Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. American actor and comedian Terry Crews speaks on porn addiction and how it almost crashed his marriage. The actor was a guest on the Andy Cohen's TV show, where he further disclosed how his addiction affected his marriage. In his words, quote, it says, it was something that porn led me to being unfaithful years earlier, and what happened was, after years of hiding and not saying anything, she confronted me. She, here being his wife, she was like, what is it I don't know about you? Okay, I think this addiction to porn conversation came out like last year, in 2018, early 2018, March to be precise, and it was on another show, I think Dr. Phil's show, where the whole revelation happened, and they talked about how when he told his wife said she was done. And she wanted to move on, and he realized that he needed to get help for himself. And also on that show, he said he wasn't even going to get help for himself because he wanted his wife back. He just wanted to get help and be a better person. And in the process, it happened that the wife decided to come back, you know. So I think it's important. And he said this is also off the back of toxic masculinity, that he felt like he's supposed to be a certain type of person. He was supposed to hold back his emotions and not let people know what he's really going through. And because of that, he hid that part of his life from his wife for a very long time. I don't think he's come out to say this was the period in their marriage when this happened. Like, we are not very sure, but we know right now they are 30 years married, but we don't know if it was at 10 years or 12 years or 11 years that the whole revelation happened.
I'm glad you brought up the timeline, because I was just thinking, you have a show online, like people watch, and I forgot what the name of the TV show now is, but I'm just thinking, you guys are there every day. So obviously it's not right now, because y'all are showing us happy faces, and it's just interesting to see as well. One of the things that made me even like more shocked is that you can't really just take by surface what you see on TV or whatever. Like, they look like they don't even beef. like they'll beef and like smile and call it a day. You never know that those kind of people were on the brink of like, you know, separating and stuff. I'm really glad that our black men are not the feminine type, not the fashionable ones, like our black gangster men are coming out to show vulnerability. Him, Common, a lot of other people are speaking up against this movement. And I just hope that our Nigerian men will catch on soon. I know we catch on late for sometimes for good stuff, but I hope they really start to see the...
We saw Dotso coming out to speak a few days ago.
Dotso, and someone else. Well, Timi too is...
Yeah, Timi is still on it.
Yeah, it's doing pretty well. So I'm glad that people are coming out to really talk about this thing. I think with porn, a lot of men get their knowledge of sex from that, and it's showing in our society how that is not working. It is really showing, because I know that even if some men don't come out and say it, you can tell that the idea that they have is pretty skew and a bit scary. I remember when I was reading his story, he mentioned that even when he thought about sex, he thought about it like, you owe it to me, not that like it's something that we're supposed to share.
A mutual thing.
And even when she said I'm going to walk away, he felt like, yeah, you should go away, because all you're here for is sex. That is a very, like, that hits home for me. I feel like a lot of Nigerian men think that, like, yes, what am I going to put you in the house to come and marry you for if you're not going to be giving me good sex and all that stuff?
Sorry to cut you. I remember in the previous video, he talked about how he now later realized that she has sacrificed a lot for him, because while he was on the road having an awesome career, she was there taking care of the children, and she would always tell him, go, I got this, like the home is fine. And he, after the therapy and the conversation, he began to realize how much she had sacrificed for the family that they have now. So yeah, I think I think there are layers of conversations from this topic that this is one thing I've always talked about too, that I feel like men need to begin to have conversations amongst themselves. Like men that have lived it, done it, seen how it's happening, and they've been able to learn and unlearn. I think it's time for them to impact those knowledge to people that also, young men that are coming up, and letting them understand that this is what it is. You are not supposed to bottle it all up. You're supposed to be responsible in this type of way, and your wife is not just there for, you know, whatever you think she's there for. So hopefully we'll have more conversations around this, because even here in Nigeria, I think there are just very few people having this conversation, like very few. I'm not even sure if few is the word to use, because it's smaller than few, you know. So these conversations need to start happening. All right, I think next is Timi Dakolo sharing a wedding video and saying that Biodun Fatoyinbo did not officiate his wedding. Also, on this ongoing case or developing story, Kemi Olunloyo reveals identity of Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo's new accuser. She said her name is Timi Oluyede, and that she was fired from the church after allegedly mismanaging a church Dubai trip. Okay, I think we should start from the first one. The fact that he's come out to say that his wedding was not officiated by Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo. And I like that he came out to address that, because that was one of the things I saw at the beginning. One, they were saying, oh, he was the, choir director? He also came out to debunk that he was a choir director, and that he met Busola in the church, and how come this is all coming out now? And secondly, this is the same man who officiated your wedding, right? And now he's coming out to say, no, this is not true. He never officiated my wedding. I think he mentioned the name of the pastor who did. I'm not sure I can remember the name of the pastor now, because the pastor put out
his name is Pastor Sheyi of Global Impact Church.
Yes, thank you for that. So I like that he's coming out to address this whole little loopholes that people are creating.
That's a picture of him in House on the Rock.
Yeah.
So he doesn't necessarily go to that church. See, the thing is, people will find a reason not to believe this story.
It's just amazing how people sit down and cook up something they do not have evidence about.
I mean, it's one thing to like ask questions and be interrogative, but this is not a law case. This is not a trial. It amazes me how you would hear someone of that caliber that doesn't have any motive to lie, except she has a serious dementia, like mental illness, plus her husband, for them to collide together and say, you know what, we're just going to lie about this thing. And you don't see any of that, and you put all your energy in debunking her. It's a bit creepy for me. Like when I see people doing that, putting so much energy in not trying to believe her, it's like, I want to say kiniti, like what? Why so much like focus on debunking someone who is in so much pain? Is everything okay?
Maybe not.
So I'm glad that he's taking his time to answer these serious things, because I read in a section where they said it's almost unbelievable that you've been going to this church, you and your husband sitting under this pastor for a long time.
I mean, I believe that.
Me too. Me too. And I was thinking, sis, how can this guy have scarred you so much and you're sitting under him with your husband that you told since you started the relationship? And I was thinking, this is weird. You know, I've started to have doubts as well. So I'm really glad Timi came to clear this out. And I hope that people can start to see that if her husband is also trying to make people understand that this girl has been through a lot and they're ready to fight, try and give them the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise.
Also, I saw that Busola has filed an official complaint, and now that she has done that, the police are ready to start investigation. So we hope to see how that investigation goes. And off to the second story, Kemi Olunloyo releasing the identity of the woman who came out, or the video we saw yesterday of the lady accusing Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo of rape again, you know. And I mean, people are divided. Some are saying, why would you do that? We know you're into investigative journalism, but we're trying to protect somebody's identity and blah, blah. And others are saying, how can you accuse someone of rape and then want your identity hidden? You know, so what do you think before I give my own opinion?
It's very tricky. I think if I'm ready to fight my rapist, I've never been raped in that category. I've been betrayed, and there's been anger in me boiling to want to get, you know, vengeance or whatever in that sense. If I'm ready to do that, I'm ready to fight. So that's just me personally. If I'm going to go all the way, either I'm dying with my silence till kingdom comes, or I'm fighting. But in this culture, I can understand why she wouldn't want to do it. People talk like their brains are in their feet and not in their heads. They are very insensitive. And Nigerians can be cold. We can be really mean. So if she decided that she didn't want to come out, I think she had that right. And I still believe she will have come out at some point. And that's where I feel like Kemi has gone a bit off, because you can't give out somebody's identity if they don't want
what she
to.
did, is it unethical?
I think it is. I think it is, but it's scary.
It is really scary because, like you said, I think I've mentioned this on this show before, especially when people were coming out at Chris Brown and co, and they were using the Jane Doe Anonymous, and I'm wondering, why are you accusing someone of rape and then the evidence are looking so sketchy, but you want to remain anonymous? You're tarnishing somebody's image, but you want to keep your image, even when I know they are probably few compared to the crazy ones, but we have so many people fighting for the rights of the victims, right? So because of how sensitive rape is, I'm not of the school of thought that you can come out and accuse somebody anonymously. I'm sorry.
Well,
like, I understand the feeling, I understand the culture.
But you can come out without you can come out without coming out to the public, though. For example, now, like R. Kelly's case, everybody in the law system knows this person. But it's completely different when you add social media. But she went on camera.
Well, I understand, though, but I mean, when you're trying to hide these things and they keep it in the law, why not keep the person you're also accusing out of the faces of the public until you are able to prove this person guilty or not guilty? Because it's like you just throwing me out there and saying, oh, you did this, and keep me into the court of public opinion.
But I think she was going to come out on her time.
Yeah, in her time, I get it. But
okay, what about Kemi? Do you think
it's really sketchy?
So do you think Kemi had the right to call her out?
I can't say she has the right to call her out or not, but Kemi is telling you that she's doing her investigative journalism, you know, and that's the way she wants to play this game. But I'm saying this of what I'm feeling. I feel like you cannot accuse a man of rape and decide to keep your own identity while his own is being dragged in the mud, especially because he has not been proven guilty. Yeah. That's where I'm coming from.
Well, this is not a law. This is not a, like I keep saying.
Oh, it's getting there. I mean, she's filed a complaint, and an official
girl also
one.
filed a complaint?
I feel like, I don't know what's going on, but I feel like people have a group of women that have come out to say, this is what is going on, and they're trying to fight this case in the best way, in the way they think is best, you know. To release Busola's interview we didn't see anyone coming, and then you have a second one. What if you have a third and a fourth? Then that's beginning to look like a class action, right? Yeah. So I think it's becoming a serious law issue right now, and I hope that every party involved will do the right thing, because I don't even know where to stand anymore. Like, it's crazy. But of course, I know that I feel for the victims, and I want them to get justice. Yeah. That's what I know. If you don't have anything to say, that's probably where we're wrapping up.
We can wrap it up.
All right, that's exactly where we wrap up on this particular episode. You can join us for another one this afternoon on Plus TV Africa, where we bring you the biggest entertainment stories. My name is Elsie Godwin, and I'm definitely going to thank Omai for being here with me and doing this with me.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching, and see you later.